All right. So here we go. Before we get into the article, let's just pause here.
The
This
best
guy
part was,
right here, listen, this
oh
guy
my
right
God.
here, he looks like someone's auntie, right? Like that
In a
has like
grandma
the hard,
outfit.
yeah, that has like the hard candies in her purse all the time for
From
you.
1955.
Yes. Like I don't understand, why is this man taller than, well, a lot of people are taller than me, but if you're supposed to be a dwarf, you should not be taller than me. This guy is towering over. There's only one.
And the best part is they chose a photo that makes him look like he only has one arm.
Oh,
So for a good 5 minutes, I thought he only had one arm until you find other photos and he's got 2 arms.
And then also a woman. It's supposed to be 7. It's 7 men.
Yep.
Snow White and the one dwarf. Yeah. They're on a hill.
It's embarrassing. And like the costumes too. Just look at the costumes, how shitty they look. They look like someone's just thrown stuff together and be like, ta-da. This is Disney. They have millions of dollars for a costume, and this is what they go with. Like discount, like Party City.
So it's really sad because even like with the Little Mermaid, you see people cosplaying.
Oh, so much
looking better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tara, good point. Costumes look like they came from the late 60s hippies costume. Yeah, Party City. Like I swear to God, you can find this stuff at Party City.
Oh yeah. Or like a thrift store.
Or a thrift store. Exactly. They are.
Just
You're
mix
right,
and match.
Lulu. So I guess we'll read some of this article. So exclusive Snow White and the 7 politically correct companion.
It's true, they are.
They are, but it's funny. First pictures of new live action remake of Disney classic show stand-in princess walking with diverse band of merry men and women after row over using dwarves actors. Hi ho, it's off to the job center they go. For the 7 dwarves have been replaced by magical creatures for Disney's live action remake of Snow White. The character of the fictional princess, who will be played by Rachel Zegler in the film, has been pictured for the first time with her new companions, who appear to be a mix of genders, ethnicities, and heights. Yeah. The actress wearing Snow White's famous yellow and blue dress and red cape is tailed by the group, who are dressed in brightly colored clothes and carrying work tools. They were spotted shooting scenes in Bedfordshire on Thursday, and pictures obtained exclusively by Mail Online. The scenes pictured here have 2 stand-in extras who were used to film additional photography. Disney announced that magical creatures would replace the 7 dwarfs to avoid reinforcing stereotypes after Game of Thrones actor Peter Dinklage criticized the effing backwards story last year. I have a whole article on that. We'll get into that in a second. Peter Dinklage is...
He's a dink.
He's another Looney Tune. Hollywood is full of Looney Tunes. That's the most polite way I can put it. It's just...
they don't look like dwarfs. Like, at least try to, like, make them look like a, you know, like, what the dwarfs resembled back in the Snow White. And they look nothing like it.
Just don't remake it if you don't like what the story was about. How hard is it to make a new story? If you want, make something else with some 7 mystical creatures or something.
No, that doesn't even look like Rachel. Is that like a stunt?
Let's see. They said something... Pictured as an extra who was used for an additional film. Right here. She looks a little bit more like Snow White.
Yeah. The costume still looks really cheap, like something you get at a costume store.
It does. Like, the colors are there, but...
yeah, like, it's the right design and everything, but it just looks extremely cheap, like someone just threw it together in 5 seconds.
This dude is massive. He's like 7 feet tall. Look at him.
Maybe he's supposed to be a giant, and he's still a dwarf.
Well, they're mystical creatures now, not...
You know what the worst part about that? That dude in blue in the very front, there's more pictures of him. He is what they call the prince. They dropped the name of the prince, and now he's Jonathan.
Seriously?
They say it. They say it in the captions below.
Oh, down here? Okay.
Yeah.
The Merry Band...
There's a photo of him, just him, and like, this is the Jonathan who replaced the prince. Hi, Chris.
All right, so the Merry Band follow. That's like Robin Hood, the Merry Band of Men. Like what? The Merry Band follow behind Snow White as they make their way across the idyllic Berkshire scene, and she serenely strides ahead. Sorry, I don't know words. I have to read.
Yeah, there he is. See, the 7 friends walk behind the character Jonathan as the movie ditches the character of the prince. So that derp blue boy is freaking the prince. I'm sorry, he's no Prince Charming.
What the frig?
I'm sorry, why did they make him? So the prince is a black-haired dude in Snow White, right? If I remember
Yeah.
correctly, or I think, yeah, wasn't he black-haired or was he brown-haired? Whatever it is, like I honestly don't see this guy as a prince.
They're doing that crap on purpose. They did the same thing. I mean,
Make the white male shit.
Eric was a prince, in The Little Mermaid, but not by blood. He like washed up ashore and was adopted by the Black King and Queen.
Wait, what? They really
You
did
know
that?
that? I was gonna say that too, Tara. It looks like he's wearing a hoodie.
Uh-huh.
What's up, horny elf? Ian, thank you for the $10. The guy at the back looks like they're trying to smuggle a Viking into Surf's village. I know! I know!
Yeah, you're right though. He looks like that really old relative aunt grandma with like the shawl over her head who's got the hard candies and a big ass handbag purse thing. Long nails. Oh yeah.
The line follow through the flowered fields in a ragtag assortment of wacky clothing. Oh, they're just a bunch of sillies. With no apparent theme of color, style, or period to tie the group together. Yeah, that's great work, Disney, the costume department.
It's embarrassing.
Like, how could they not even have someone stick out as Dopey? Everybody freaking loves Dopey.
Right? Like, if anything, they could have cast, like, random characters, but then have them looking like the dwarfs, like the clothing, right? Yeah. Be like, this person is dressed in green to represent Dopey. This person looks like, you know, sleepy, grumpy, whatever it is, but nah.
Yeah, we got one more little... Let's cover the stupid Peter Dinklage stuff. Like, what the heck is this guy's problem? Could have had Kevin Hart as Dopey. Listen, that would have been funny. That would have been funny.
I would have been down for that. That would have been funny as hell. Dude, can you imagine, like, remember Cinderella? Was it 2015 Cinderella? How beautiful Cinderella was. Like, that's probably the best live action movie they've done. Yeah, Lily James as Cinderella was top tier. The dress was gorgeous. Your boy, Richard Madden.
So nice.
Great movie. I saw it in cinemas.
I wish I would have.
Fantastic. Like, it's honestly, all live actions for me are unnecessary. But however, that one was actually really good.
Hi, Grumpy's here. What's up, Grumpy? They're ruining your movie, bro. Thank you for the $1.99.
You should sue.
Yes, sue them. And you're right, Grumpy. Justice for Grumpy. But okay, so this was the article that I was going to wait to talk about what Peter Dinklage said. So Peter Dinklage discusses why he feels Disney's live action Snow White isn't as inclusive as it can be. Disney just can't catch a break with Snow White, from guests complaining about the ending of the Snow White Enchanted Wish attraction in Disneyland to the divisiveness about casting Latina actress Rachel Zegler to play the lead character. Now Peter Dinklage is weighing in on why he feels that Disney could do more. Update with Disney's response at the end of the article. Ooh. During an interview on Mark Maron's WTF podcast, he had comments to make about the choices Disney appears to be making in regards to certain characters and not others. Dinklage said, "There's a lack of hypocrisy going on. Literally, no offense to anyone, but I was a little taken aback when they were very proud to cast a Latina actress as Snow White, but you're still telling the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Take a step back and look at that. What you're doing there, it makes no sense to me." Okay. You're progressive in one way, but then you're still making that effing backwards story about seven dwarfs living in a cave together. They live in a nice house. Their house is like nicer than mine. It's got 2 floors. They got 7 beds that look comfortable as hell. Like, okay, Peter, watch the movie before you judge it, Peter. Anyways, have I done nothing to advance the cause from my soapbox? I guess I'm not loud enough. I don't know which studio that is, but they were so proud of it. All love and respect to the actress and all the people who thought they were doing the right thing. But I'm just like, what are you doing? What is he even complaining about?
He sounds like a Karen.
And they're minors. They work in a cave and they live in a house. Like, their house is actually really freaking nice. Like a little forest house. I don't know what he's
talking about. You know what? He's shitting on the blue collar class. That's what he's doing. Because he thinks because you're doing like labor and all that physical labor, you don't have a nice house and you live like a Neanderthal.
Yeah.
That's basically what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. He said, to be fair, the dwarfs don't... Oh, so they said in the article, to be fair, the dwarfs don't live in mines. They worked in mines and lived in a house. But the point still stands, and they're depicted in a certain way. Disney has been talking about inclusion and diversity openly and then acting in ways contrary to that behind the scenes for a while. On one hand, they worry that animatronic monkeys are depicted authentically, and then on the other, they allegedly don't want a strong female character depicted in a way that gives her muscles. What? Have you
What?
seen Ray? Have you watched the new Star Wars movies?
Ah.
Uh, maybe sometimes a story I don't even know what to say to that. Maybe sometimes the story should just be left as part of the past, not be retold again. I agree with that because it's going not because it's gonna be offensive, but because they're just dumb, but because it's gonna be offensive to someone no matter what. Then again, every story is going to offend someone. So what should Disney do? Make new stuff. Maybe. I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't know. That's an idea. When it comes to the Disney Snow White story, the dwarfs make up most of the characters in the tale, so maybe Disney should look at portraying them in a different way than how they've traditionally been portrayed. Just make new characters and leave the old stories alone. Like, if you're not gonna tell it correctly, then just leave it alone. Maybe Disney should just stop making live action adaptations, yeah,
Yep.
and let the past stay in the past and make new things that portray characters in authentic and inclusive ways. Otherwise, some people don't get a key, even if there is one mark just for them. All right, here's an update. Since his comments, Disney has responded with
Oh dear.
to avoid reinforcing stereotypes from the original animated film, we are taking a different approach with these 7 characters and have been consulting with members of the dwarfism community. We look forward. I'm sorry, I should have left that. We look forward to sharing more as the film heads into production after a lengthy development period. Lengthy development period probably means, oh crap, we didn't think about that. Now back to the drawing board. Again, just stop making these live action redos. What do you think? Comment and let us know. Okay, yeah. I think they should just stop.
Oh yeah. 100%. They shouldn't do any of that shit. And I think it's really funny because what Peter Dinklage is one of the most sought after dwarf actors besides like what Warwick Davis.
I look at it like this. Little
I
people,
Yeah, Little People. I think it was called.
they don't get a lot of roles because not very many roles are gonna call for someone that tiny. So when a movie like this comes out, they should be happy to be like let people that are, like me be
Yeah.
cast in this role, give them the job, but now they don't. Now it's just full grown men and a woman do it. They have one, and it just doesn't make
Yeah,
sense to
they took
me.
away jobs from people who were actually fit for the
Exactly.
role.
Yeah.
Which is what they've been
Um
claiming to do about whole diversity and shit, and yet they went and just,
yeah.
took the roles away from these people who have a hard time
They should have
finding
been like,
jobs.
"Oh yeah, we're
Worse
gonna
than I
give
was.
7 people jobs that normally wouldn't get a job." So I don't understand. It's just uh
He's an
they're
angry elf.
only going to reinforce the stereotype with one dwarf. I know, right, Cody?
Right?
That
Because
too.
they
Like,
only got the
let's just
one.
have one. I don't understand that.